Good morning. It's Monday, December 19th. And every morning when I'm eating breakfast, I usually turn on the news. And I love to listen to the news the first thing in the morning. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the day. And it's CBS News, usually. And so I want to discuss some of the items that I heard on the news recently. And these things took place basically around New York City and around the country. And the big deal, the big thing that took place in Brooklyn was a gun buyback program. And they made a big deal out of this program, and this apparently was the third time this year that they were buying guns back in Brooklyn. And let me tell you what they were giving people for those guns. The buyback program took place in Bed-Stuy, and it turned out, according to the Brooklyn borough president, to be a huge success. According to the report, they took back almost 200 guns. And a big part of the success of this program was the incentives that were offered. Seems to me it pays to have a gun. Because if you have a working gun or an assault rifle, you would receive a $500 bank card for each firearm and $50 for each Beebee gun or imitation pistol. I don't know what an imitation pistol is. Is that a cap gun? I don't know really what that means. And in addition to that, I think the first 50 or so people also got an iPad. So maybe this is a great thing, because if people can get rid of their guns at a profit, then they will gladly do that. Now, I recognize the fact that in Brooklyn, in Bed-Stuy, and in other parts of the city, that people carry guns because they're scared, because they're dangerous. Those are not great neighborhoods necessarily. But the mere fact that people are willing to turn in their guns is a good sign in my mind, even if they're doing it at a profit. And the Brooklyn borough president made the obvious statement that the effective way to reduce gun violence in our city is to reduce the number of guns on the street. And so the New York Police Department will continue to deploy every strategy available to keep New Yorkers safe, including the gun back program like this. And they plan more events like this. So, if you're waiting for them to have a gun back program and you got a few spare dollars and you can get a gun cheap, you can make a profit. I say that facetiously, but I think it's good to get guns off the street, and there's no reason for him to say what he has said, because that's an obvious thing. Getting guns off the street will certainly help people, but that's not the only thing they need to do to reduce crime. I think there's a lot more they can do than just remove guns from the street. But that'll be a whole other topic. And then the other thing that I heard on the news that really caught my attention was the epidemics that are going on around this country. 9,000 people died from the flu last week. And the flu is running rampant right now, along with COVID and along with RSV. So we are trapped right now in an environment which is disease-ridden. And it's rising. These diseases are rising, and they're putting more and more people in the hospital. So it wouldn't surprise me if we end up with another major mask mandate. So according to the news report, this is very early for the flu and RSV to hit this hard. And now, once again, COVID-19 is rising. So right now, health officials are putting everybody on notice that there are available protective measures, tests, treatments, etc., that will be available to the public so that we can avoid a repeat of the COVID-19 surges that took place in the past 2 winters. So don't be fooled that case numbers are now below those of earlier waves. But about 14% of the U.S. population is in an area that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention consider to be high COVID community risks. Now that's up about 10% from last week. New York City, Los Angeles County, and Phoenix, Maricopa County are among those major areas that are under attack again by COVID-19. So be careful out there. Be careful what you do. And I speak from experience, because I tested positive last week, and I feel okay, but I don't know how long I was positive. And my wife is in the hospital now because of it. In her case, you could see that she was sick. She was totally out of it for a couple of hours. So it sneaks up on you. So don't be a wise person and think that you're immune. So while this hasn't made that many headlines lately, COVID-19 hospitalizations have been on the rise since early November, and older people are bearing the brunt of it. And I can say that because hospitalization rates are 4 times higher for seniors than for any other age group. Now, I don't know what they consider seniors, but I know that I'm a senior, and I'm assuming that seniors are people in their 60s and above. So we have to be careful. Be careful out there. And here's an amazing statistic that I just realized, that I just saw. There have been at least 99 million cases of COVID-19 and more than 1 million deaths in the U.S. since the beginning of the COVID rampage. And just so you know, this situation is so serious that the government is reopening the COVID test website where you can apply for free tests. And that website is called covidtests.gov. And I don't know how long it's going to be open, but if you want to take good care of yourself, get yourself some free tests. And I think they'll probably be appearing all over the place again. And if you go to covidtests.gov, each household can get up to 4 at-home tests next week. And they're trying to caution everybody and saying COVID isn't the disruptive force it once was. Because we can live safely no matter what the virus throws at us. But we have to be careful. Don't take anything for granted. Don't take any chances. Start wearing your mask again, because these diseases are running rampant in the country right now. Just remember, it's flu and RSV in addition to COVID. And I think that's enough for today. So I'll leave you. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.